from his apartment, it's the Surge Podcast, starring Sergio Santana.
I don't wanna hurt nobody, I just came to vibe. Tonight we ain't with no drama, tell them take it outside.
With tonight's guest,
Shorty and her friends been looking for a while, tell them come and vibe.
Now here's your host,
Disappear for a little, find a place to hide. Forget the problems, man. Gotta put the stress
Santana.
Tell me what you want from me, don't tell me how you feel. Why every time she talk to me, I end up at the crib? Why every time you talk to me, you never keep it real? Why you got a lot of me, you won't change how I feel? You ain't got a lot of me, you won't change who I am. I'm not Johnny Depp, baby, I don't do pretends. Can you get up out my head, please, I don't need you there. Hollow gang, I'm too deep, no love in there. Honestly, don't get no fucks.
All right, so our first guest for this evening is Asia Chardonay. Make some noise for her. What's going on? So I wanted to talk to you because I've been noticing you've been traveling a lot. Because I know when you left LA, you wanted to you were going to I thought like you were going to Atlanta, right?
Yes, Atlanta is my final destination. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Okay.
I took stops. So I left LA August 2nd or 3rd because I had a show August 2nd. So I left August 3rd. And what I did was I stopped in Vegas, did a few shows in Vegas, stopped in Phoenix, did a couple shows in Phoenix. After Phoenix, I went on to Dallas. I only had one show in Dallas. From Dallas, I did Austin. I had 5 shows in Austin.
Nice.
From Austin, I went to Houston, had 3 shows in Houston, and then, or 2 shows in Houston, 2 or 3. And then from Houston, I went to New Orleans. Yeah, I had 2 shows in Houston. I went to New Orleans, had 3 shows in New Orleans, and then I drove on home to Indianapolis. So I'm stopping in Indianapolis. That's my hometown. I'll be here until December, the beginning of December, and then that's when I'm gonna head on down to Atlanta.
Okay, that's what's up. And then so it's kind of like a little mini tour, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly how I described it when I was reaching out to people to get booked.
Yeah. So, but see, that's why because I mean, I can see some of the band in the back. I was like I said, I was telling you before we got on that I always want to do that. I always want to like be in like, have my own, like, not an RV, but just like a little space where I can.
RV, hell yeah.
Well, RV is big, you know what I mean? Like if you have something like more incognito, like with like a van, and you got everything you need in it. I don't know.
The van, trust me, I mean, I've been doing the van life. So just to give you some background, I moved to LA in 2019. That's when I got my van, and I knew I wanted to convert something and live in something because so 2019 and 2018 I got fired for my job, and I was on unemployment, and that was the best time of my life. Like, I enjoyed it. The only downfall was, like, even though I was getting unemployment, money was really tight. So, like, I had the time, but I didn't have the money. And then when I worked, I had the money, but I didn't have the time. So I wanted to do something to where I could have both, have the time and the money. Crazy thing about it is I'm still broke though for that. I'm still broke, but yeah. I got the time, still working on the money part of it. It's not as bad as having to worry about, rent. But so for my birthday in June, I bought me a van, and I did like different steps because I wanted an RV. I still want an RV. I really do. I wanted a RV, but just cost wise, the money that I had at the time, I couldn't afford it. And then, like, when I was younger, like 13, I always wanted to get a school bus and convert a school bus.
Oh yeah.
But that was like so intimidating because like I would have to like gut everything and like build everything from the ground up myself. And so that's when it transferred to the RV. I was like, I can just get an old RV, remodel it, boop, boop, boop. But again, like my budget just wasn't there. And so I was like, let me get a van. And then I started getting on YouTube. And when I say I was obsessing over, like I had looked up every van life person at that time on YouTube and just watched them do different builds and stuff like that. And so I bought my van. I call her Big Baby, aka the Vantion. I purchased June 26th, the day before my birthday, my 30th birthday. And even buying the van was meant to be. When I tell you it was meant to be, it was meant to be. I haggled. Boy, I'm a haggler, okay? Because the guy, he had originally posted for like 3,600, but then he kept on dropping it down, dropping it down, dropping it down. He dropped it down to like 1,800. So I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? I went to go see it. He let me drive it. I took my stepdaddy with me. Come to find out, he had knew my stepdad. And I was able to talk him down to 1,250, from 1,800 to 1,250.
That's a blessing right there.
Oh,
about to give you another round of applause for that one. That's
okay.
That's the finesse. The finesse.
Thank you. I actually tried to give him 1,000, but he was like, "Nah, 1,500." I was like, "Let's meet in the middle, 1,250," and then we settled on 1,250. And the crazy thing about it is, every car that I've ever owned, or every vehicle that I've ever owned, I've always given it a name. And I asked him what the van's name was, and he said the van's name is Big Baby. And he had already, I didn't name Big Baby. He had already named it. And Big Baby is one of my nicknames. There's like a group of people in my hometown that only know me as Big Baby. So I was like, this is meant to be. This is meant to be. So I got the van. Me and my best friend, we started like taking stuff out. Like we pulled up the carpet in the back, took the 2 chairs out the back, put some flooring down. Took the, like, I don't know if you can see, but like it had this color like upholstery all on the doors and the sides and stuff.
Oh, okay.
We took it down and put white vinyl on it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can give you a, like, I would love to give you a tour, but so yeah, all the white we replaced.
Yeah.
That was that velour type of cloth material.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. You know, that's where the magic happens. My bed is a little messed up because I was driving, but yeah, put everything in there. Got the floor. You know what I'm saying? Got the rug.
Nice.
Really hooked it up. Everybody always asks me the same question: how do you go to the bathroom? I put like a DIY camp toilet inside. We only do number ones. I don't know if that's
sense. Nah, but that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Ain't no number twos unless it's an emergency. But now we don't do no number twos up in here. Let me see what else. The shower situation, the gym. People always ask about that. Go to the gym, or I go to a friend's house, use their showers or whatever. But yeah, so that was 2019. So when I left from Indiana. I quit my job. I had a good paying job. When I say I had a good paying job, I had a good paying job, and I quit. I quit with a bang. And you know, I would. Yeah, I went. I took a cake and it said, "Fuck this job, I quit." And I left it with a. I feel like that was a good parting gift. And let me see, that was July 18th. I hit the road on July 25th or 26th. One of those days. I started hitting the road, and then I took the northern route from Indiana to California. So I drove through like Illinois, Iowa, Nevada, not Nevada. Well, I did go through Nevada, but Nebraska, Colorado, Utah, and then Nevada, and then LA.
Wow.
And it was funny. Now that the first time I left from Indiana to LA, I didn't stop and do as many shows as I wanted to because I kind of rushed. But it was still exciting. It was my first time ever. I didn't even warm up to seeing if I wanted to live the van life or not. I just instantly, after I quit my job and my lease was up, I think I don't even, I think I might have stayed with my mom for a week,
Mhm.
and then yeah, hit the road. So the first time I left Indianapolis was the first time I had ever slept in Big Baby.
But that's, I mean, that was, it was going like into the pandemic anyway. So I mean,
I didn't even know. I didn't
yeah.
even
So it was
know.
you that was God right there. That had you all moving like that for
Yeah, because
sure.
I know I wouldn't have been I know for a fact I would not have had a job. But unemployment during the pandemic wasn't it wasn't a bad thing.
Uh-huh.
It was not a bad thing. But yeah, I was in LA for 8 months when we had the shutdown. And I was building some momentum and then came to a screeching halt. Uh then and I stuck around. I didn't because I could have just drove back home and stayed home until everything was settled. But I decided to stay in LA, work it out. I did virtual shows,
Mhm.
which I hated,
Oh yeah,
but
agreed. I ain't like them
pushed
either.
pushed through them.
Hmm.
And then 2021, I did travel back home just because it was LA was shut down,
Hmm.
and it was just a lot on me mentally. So I just went ahead and drove home, and then on that way, I did stop, do like open mics in different cities and so forth, and meeting different people. And then on the way back, did the same thing. Um, but the final run was just recently, 2023 August when I left, and hopefully Atlanta, hot Atlanta.
Hmm.
Hopefully they'll do me right. I'm really excited about Atlanta. I really am.
Yeah. So I mean, so now, I mean, what made you decide to leave LA to go to Atlanta in the first place? Like,
It's
is
crazy
it that
because
something about the scene that wasn't there for you, or you just?
it's crazy. I've never been to Atlanta in my
Oh,
life.
okay. All
I
right.
don't even
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be in Atlanta. Like in my heart of hearts, I feel like I'm supposed to be in Atlanta. And I always wanted to move to Atlanta. Prior to I'm talking about like 19, 20 years old, I wanted to move to Atlanta. And just never pulled the trigger on it. And excuse me. I got terrible allergies. Not cocaine. It's not cocaine. I promise it's not cocaine. But or COVID. People. It's neither the cocoa. Um, but I always wanted to move to Atlanta. Like I really did, and just never pulled the trigger. And it's crazy because me ending up in LA, I would have never imagined because every time I had visited LA, I never was a fan. I would never was like, oh, I'm supposed to be here. And I had visited LA probably like 4 times before I moved. And I'm like, nah, I don't think this is a city for me. So to make it 4 years, I'm like, even if I didn't like Atlanta, I know I could survive.
Oh
I
yeah.
made
Hmm.
LA. But Atlanta just checked more boxes for me. It's closer to my hometown. It's only an 8-hour drive. Uh, let me change the order on that. First on the list is Black people.
Yeah.
It's black. It's black. I want to be around
A lot of
you know,
Christians too.
a lot
Yep.
of Christians. I love that. I
Hmm.
just want to be around an abundance of Black people. Like I like LA is cool, but like it's so spread out and it's so segregated. Like you got pockets of different people, but that's what it is. It's not like it's just one blended thing. And if I'm gonna have to be in a pocket, I would prefer to be in a pocket
Yeah.
with people that look like me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Agreed.
Uh, so that's
Plus
just that's
the food's so much better in Atlanta too. Like,
yeah, but I can take it easy on that. LA.
listen, but it is what it, I mean. LA, that was one of the things. Like when I first moved here too, I was like, yo, I don't like this. I wish I visited more. I didn't, because I only
Yeah,
came one other time for like some job interviews, and then I just moved. And I was like, nah, I don't like this, and I was like regretting it, and I didn't like the food. I didn't like anything. It was a
yeah,
culture shock, and I just wanted to
yeah,
go back to Philly. That was like, I want to go back home. But
yeah.
that, yeah, it's the same here. Like I'm amazed. Like I made it. I'm about 4 years in too, and I'm like, yo, I'm really here. Like I live
Right,
here. Yeah.
survive doing the daggone thing, and I feel good because like some people leave LA bitter and like
Mhm.
and what they what I'm saying like with a bad impression or a bad uh just a bad taste in their mouth about LA, and I don't like I built a community. Like when I moved to LA, which is also a big difference of me when I moved to Atlanta versus when I moved to LA. I didn't have any comedy connections, anything in LA. Like I was just grinding, which LA makes you do. You grind,
Mhm.
and I know a significant amount of people, and like I have a good community. Like nobody could ever tell me anything about LA about as far as the people not being supportive or anything like that. I didn't get that. That ain't my truth. That ain't my story. Like I got a lot of love in LA, and I really do appreciate everybody that I've met. And the good thing about moving to Atlanta is I have connections now in Atlanta. I have people that are like from my hometown that live in Atlanta, people that I met on different festivals and so forth that live in Atlanta. So like I'm going into it differently than how I went into LA. Like LA was built from the ground up. Now I got a little bit of foundation in Atlanta that's completely different. But Atlanta just checked more boxes. Black, closer to home, the cost of living is not nearly like LA. So like even if
Yeah.
the van life is more so optional for Atlanta as it was for me, would have been it's mandatory for LA. I couldn't do that. I just refuse to pay $2,000, $3,000 for rent. That just does not sit well.
Hey, listen, every month it does not sit well in my spirit. Trust me. Like
Yeah.
it's like, why are we spending this much? Like the gas is like $7 a gallon, like right now. Like
crazy.
yeah.
I couldn't. No. LA couldn't get my money. No.
And I'm still here. That's why I said, like, why am I still here? I'm still here too.
$3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year.
Yeah.
Do you know? I just looked online. You can get a fifth wheel hitch trailer for $20,000. You could have bought a brand new man. Yeah.
Listen, when I first got here, I was paying, I think it was paying like $12.50 a month and I had roommates in Sherman Oaks, and I was and I had a room. You know, that was it. Like you shared a bathroom and to share the kitchen. It was $12.50 a month, and I did that for a couple months, like almost my first year, almost the whole first year. I lived here. Yeah. So I at that point, I was like kind of like desensitized to all this. Like because it was messing with my head, because I was like, well, that would give me a whole crib back home, you know, like, and just to be in one room. And yeah, it was definitely, yeah, it was a lot. LA definitely makes you grind, because the cost of living is so crazy. You got to like work like 4 or 5 jobs. And then if you're trying to be here to do something, like be here to do comedy, or you're an actor, or whatever you're doing, you're a singer, you got to try to do that on top of make money to survive, to live somewhere. So
that's crazy. Yeah,
people run themselves out quick. I see some of these, I don't know where these influencers come from. Like they be here in like those high-rise apartments in Hollywood, it'd be like 20 grand a month, 15 grand a month.
30 people that live in them things too.
I don't know. Some of them, sometimes it's just one, you know, and you're like, how? What sponsorships do you have?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't believe nothing I see on the internet. I don't believe nothing I see on the internet. I don't care how flashy you look, how Balenciaga, whatever. I don't believe nothing I see on the internet, because I've witnessed people I know people personally who look so good on the internet, and you are poor, piss poor. I don't believe. I don't believe it. I gotta see a bank statement, and I gotta see the leasing agreement before I believe it. Yeah.
I got the film in some of them, because I do locations for like a lot of productions. So when I go into those apartments, I'm like, they spent this much for what? Like it'd be real small. The appliances won't be like all that and everything. And I'm just like, oh, because you're in Hollywood. Because when you get out and you start walking the streets of Hollywood, you realize Hollywood's the hood. Like you can't let the palm trees confuse you. You know, like it's a lot of homelessness, a lot of craziness, a lot of stuff just popping off. Everybody want to be famous, like, you know, so it's
LA is dirty. That was one of the first things that I noticed when I moved in 2019. And I don't want to upset all the Los Angelinos or whatever, but they know it's dirty.
They know.
It's dirty. I said that was one of my first jokes when I first moved in 2019, that it just needs to rain Purell. It just need to rain Purell, Germex, and somebody need to wipe it off with a Clorox wipe. Like the whole city is just filthy. Yeah, they tricked me. They tricked me, because that's it. But that's like the internet. You think it's exactly like these influencers. These influencers are Hollywood. You see it on TV. It looks like this glitz and glam. You get there and it's ghetto. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
no.
sounds so mean, but you know.
No, it sounds mean, but like it's the truth. Like, I mean, if y'all coming out here, I don't want y'all to be like shocked. Anybody's listening, like it, because when I got out here, like it was especially during the pandemic, because it was like tent
Right.
city everywhere, which now it's just an overnight thing, and then they got have it, off the streets in the morning. But it don't make it any better. It's still,
Right. They just
kind of
moving from like
yeah,
next.
yeah. And I think it's like after 10 o'clock, it just and the city just shuts down. And it's just it's run by the tents. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Basically.
we go to
Yeah.
downtown LA is dangerous.
Mhm.
It's scary in the daytime, so I can only imagine what it's like at night. Oh no. Yeah. But LA, like I said, LA did make me grind. It made me really like focus. And I feel like that's what Atlanta's gonna do, because they have their own, like, again, I've never been, but I know plenty of people who live in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I know it's they into like the fashion and looking good, like everything that you just described about an influencer and stuff like that. So which in a sense will make me grind. Like I don't get up into like designer stuff and fashion stuff, but I feel like those type of people, they keep up with it. So like it'll make you move. It'll make you move. Like I do have what's the FOMO, fear of missing out. So like that is a thing. Like I feel like if my peers are doing stuff, like that keeps my wheel going, because I don't want to be left behind. Like I feel like I know God has blessed me with a talent, and I know what my gift is. Because there's some people who still don't know what they're here to do in life, and I know mine. So like I don't want to like waste it by like messing around and not doing what I'm supposed to do. So like being around people moving and grooving, I feel like will keep my wheel going. So then that way I'm not stopping. And like because I'm gonna be famous. Sergio is
Oh
I don't know.
yeah, I know it too. I know it. See,
I don't know when.
it's
But
gonna happen. Listen, I was gonna tell you too, because look, yeah. So how long you been doing comedy in general?
oh, I hate that question. So
That's all right.
I did my first open mic in 2011. So it would
Yeah.
be 12 years. I think it was March that I met. We met, like we're still cool, and I was telling him like he's the only person that I like talk to in comedy. Like I really kind of stay to myself. Like I'm friendly, I'm cool, but I really like to stay out the way.
I'm losing you for I just kind of freezing up out of nowhere. Yeah, it's okay. So I kind of missed some of that what you were saying, unfortunately.
Okay. I can run the whole thing back. I don't know how you're gonna edit it, but
Oh, it's
what I
okay.
was what I was saying was it's a guy that when I did my first open mic in 2011, it's a guy that I'm cool with, and he's the only person that I've like from comedy that I've been that cool with, and that we like talk on a personal level. Like he's a true friend, because I do try to stay out the way. I don't like to be cliquey. I don't like to be messy. I don't like to get caught up in any stuff like that or whatever. But I met him in 2011 when I did my very first open mic. And you know how like some people have uh horror stories about how their first time doing an open mic went and it was terrible, and but they pushed through it and blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't wanna I don't wanna brag or nothing, but that was not my story. That was not I won a contest my very first open mic. My very first time ever hitting the stage. I won a contest. And but I did slow down. I went from like 2011 to like 2014, doing shows here and there. But when I tell you I was winging it as a comic, I was winging it. If I look back on it now, it was terrible. It was good for the moment, but it was terrible how I was moving in comedy, because I didn't have a set routine. I did not have like a set list. I would literally just get on stage and riff. That was my first 3 years in comedy. And then I took a break. I was in a relationship. I took a break. And then I would say consistently doing comedy 2016. Like foot on the gas, even if I was just going slow, foot on the gas, and still but being intentional behind it, like writing a set, writing a routine, 2016. Yeah.
So it's moving faster than you think. That's what I'm saying. Like you gonna be there. You doing your little tours.
Ugh.
It's moving fast, I think. Because you
Okay.
think about it. You think about 2016, and then you have the pandemic don't count. You know what I mean? That time kind of
Right.
eats up. So
Right.
yeah.
Minus
So
a year and a half. Yeah, that's fair. But 2016, oh Lord, I feel like it's going in slow motion because the thing I feel like that because I
mm.
should have been doing this when I was like 16. That's probably why I feel like that. I should
Well,
have been doing
I
college.
started when I was 15, but the thing was I started stop. I had moments in my life where I had to live, and I think that's where
Right,
you kind of write from. And then there was times where I don't think I was confident in my ability. You know what I mean? And as you
right,
grow and you're as a comic, you a lot of that that's nothing. Like as far as like any type of like I guess second guessing your material or anything like that, or even doing new material, dealing with like the crowd not even really liking what you're working on, and you got to keep working it out until that becomes a real good bit. It takes a special person to kind of go through all that.
yeah, that's a fact. How long have you been? You said 2015. So how old were
Oh
you in
no, I
20?
started when I was 15.
I mean 15. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So how old are
Um,
you?
I'm 43 now, so I don't even tell people how old I am. But yeah, I'm 43. I'll be
Sure.
44. Huh? Wait, you I lost you.
Quick math. I'm good at math. Quick math. 28 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, but I think there's pockets though that
right. That's why like when I answer that question, I always say I did my first open mic in 2011 because I
yeah.
did it was a on off period, especially from like 2014 to 2016, that on off, like
Mhm.
still doing shows here and there, but like not consistently like how I was like when I first moved to LA, or like how I'm, booking shows and staying on it. Like comedy is life. Like I don't think
Yeah.
about anything else career wise other than comedy. Although I did just recently get a job. They don't even, crazy thing is they don't know who they fucking with. I care about how I quit my last job. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who they messing with. But
That's what's
I'm,
up.
I'm, I'm gonna try to stick it out because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some steady paychecks. Because I don't know if I'm gonna do the van life in Atlanta just
No, I don't
yet.
think you need to. That's why I was gonna say my brother, he lives in Atlanta, and he has it's a nice lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. You can get a lot more, for your money than you can out here,
Right,
for sure.
right. It's just my only thing is I really truly like if a job. Like I don't want to work. Like not a traditional 9 to 5. If I could do something to where I can make money, but in this industry,
Hmm.
because when I was in LA, I was doing like Uber and stuff like that. And I would prefer not to do that because it's still a distraction. You know what I'm saying? Because I still have to, and the second that I have to be committed to rent, now I got to worry about that. Like now that's a concern. So like I'm still up in the air. Like I'm the type of person I flip a coin on something to determine on what I need to do. If the coin says
Hmm.
stay in Big Baby, I will stay in Big Baby. If the coin says get an apartment, I will get an apartment. It just depends because I really got to fit.
Yeah. Oh, it froze. It froze on us.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Okay.
What about now?
I hear you now, but let me see if it's
It could be the rain because it's raining really hard in Indy right now.
Oh, okay. No, I mean we're almost running out of time anyway, but it's okay. I was gonna get us a little bit more time. But yeah,
So how do you feel like the direction? How do you
huh?
feel like it's going? Because do you want me to give more tea? Do you feel like it's going in a good direction? Tell me, let me know.
This has been a really great interview, So I think you did your thing for sure. If anything, what you can do is before I kind of wrap it up is you can give like your social media handles, everybody, where everybody can find you and whatnot. And you're a little frozen,
Okay, do
so
that right
hopefully,
now.
yeah, you good. Yeah, you good. You good now.
Okay. My name is Asia Chardonay. You can follow me on everything is under All This Body. That's ALLDISBODY. You can follow me on Facebook under All This Body. YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got 568 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so they can cut me a little check. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully don't stay look too long. You know what I'm saying? So please subscribe to the channel. TikTok, All This Body. Instagram, All This Body, Twitter, X, whatever, all this, everything is literally Venmo, All This Body, Cash App, All This Body.
All right, that's what's up.
It's
Well, give it up. All This Body. Give it up for Asia Chardonnay, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Woo!
I've been living how I want, say your words, I don't need them. She do what I want she want bad, I won't keep her. She's all yours. Don't think I want it with her no more. Yeah. I've been living how I want, say your words, I don't need them. I do what I want, I got my freedom. Baby, I'm not yours. Sorry, I can't live like that no more. I'm a free soul. Go find you somebody else to lean on. Go find you somebody that's gonna keep strong. I only want bodies, I'm on demon mode. It's just the best way. Don't mean to hurt your soul, but we can't see the next day. Ooh, here come the sun. Sorry, got a jetpack, keep moving on my own, cause I can't do no stressing. Yeah, I've been living how I want, say your words, I don't need them. She do what I want, she want bad, I won't keep her. She's all yours. Don't think I want it with her no more. I've been living how I want, say your words, I don't need them. I do what I want, when I want, I got my freedom. Baby, I'm not yours. Sorry, I can't live like that no more.
All right, so welcome to the Surge Podcast. Our musical guest for this evening, IFStevie. Make some noise for him. All right, so tell us a little bit more about yourself and for my listeners and my viewers, like a little brief background about yourself.
I'm from a small town called Port St. John in Florida. I was born in Hawaii, military brat. I also was in the military as well. I got out in 2018 and then went to Full Sail for film and graduated in 2020. And then kind of started taking music seriously this year. So this is like my first real like stab at doing music. I've always like kind of been interested in it and did it on the side, just playing around, but I never took it seriously until this year.
I like it. I mean, I checked out a couple of your tracks and it was just, it's fire. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have you on if it wasn't. And then Joey Bedford was the link with that. So we went to Full Sail together, and he's part of my graduating class. I think we was in 2018. So
yeah, Bedford's definitely. I mainly do music videos and photography and like creative stuff like short films and whatnot. But Bedford played some of my music for him one day, and he like pushed me to kind of take my music more seriously. And then he, being the cinematographer he is, you know, like he's now just, we talk about ideas, and now it's impossible for me not to shoot content from my songs now because like he's just pushing me to actually take everything seriously. I'm glad he did it because like it's I mean, I'm not blowing up or anything right now, but like I'm getting good feedback from what I'm doing and stuff, and it's fun, you know.
I don't know, but you on my show, you're not blowing up. No, that's my favorite part of doing this is like I meet a lot of like underground artists, and I don't know, I like watching somebody's career grow. And sometimes, you know, all I'm saying is when you get there, just, you know, don't switch up on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because, you know, some of the music gets stale, you know what I mean? And you sound different, which is cool. You know, you don't sound like everybody else, which is always important.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So where do you think you get your like musical inspirations from, you know, as far as your style that you're creating right now?
Oh, when I was legit, my pops was into like a lot of jazz and R&B, and then go-go music, and because they're from Washington D.C., so like it's a whole different realm of music up there. But like my favorite artist growing up was Sade and The Weeknd and like Frank Ocean, and then like that was just the kind of music that I like grew up on and stuff. It was like a lot of Sade and like Kim, like I mean I don't want to get flagged or nothing, but we'd listen to R. Kelly and stuff. Like
Well, listen,
he's an R&B,
yeah.
like he's one of those R&B legends. Like you still can't deny his music. It's just unfortunate what he was doing.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, ain't no way that you didn't we weren't running around singing "I Believe I Can Fly" when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it is what it is. It's he did have a lot of there's a couple those 2 albums he had with Jay-Z, fire. I'm sorry, it was that was Best of Both Worlds. They were fire. It is what it is.
You can't deny it.
And so, you know, I think some of the best artists unfortunately have some demons that, you know, we find out about later on. But yeah, he was he definitely, and his music is still out. Like you can still stream it. It's not like they pulled it. It wasn't completely canceled, you know. Which I think is, you know, that's a whole nother topic we could probably delve into. But so you graduated during the pandemic then, or right before the pandemic then, right?
Yeah, at the time my wife had got pregnant and my son was born in 2019. So like that last couple of months going into 2020, that shit was crazy. It was hard, but you know, I managed to get through and finish. So I'm trying to go back and get my bachelor's, but it's just it's rough.
Well, what's good is I don't think you have to rush to get like your degree sometimes. I feel like, you know, as you grow as an artist and you're working on your craft, you find yourself, okay, now it's time to go do this, or sometimes you don't go back to it. Sometimes you find yourself on this path that, you know, the door's already open, you know. So I wouldn't beat myself up too much about that, you know.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to sound cocky, but like I believe in myself, you know, and I feel like I don't need to go back, but I know how beneficial it would be for me to go back, even if I do feel like I know a lot of stuff that like it would just feel redundant for me to go back. But like nobody knows everything, and it's always good to go back and like refresh and everything.
Oh yeah, I agree. Nobody knows everything. You know, there's some people out there that swear they do, but I don't know everything. So how'd you meet Bedford? How'd you guys run into each other?
It's crazy. So my best friend growing up, his name's Brandon. He graduated from FAMU, and he was working at GNC, and Bedford's going there like every day, and he just randomly talking to him.
Of course.
And my boy Brandon sees a camera tattoo on his arm, and he brings my name up to him. And like the very next day, Bedford called me on the phone out of nowhere and just asking me questions about how I'm doing and what do I do and shit like that. Ever since then, we just kept in touch like over social media. And then one day he saw that I was shooting something in Port St. John, and he was like, "Yo, like, do you live in Port St. John?" And I was like, "Nah, but my parents do." And he was like, "No way! Like, I live like we should hang out sometime." And he gave me his address, and come to find out, like, he lives like 2 streets away from my parents. And now it's just like we hang out every day, or like we talk on the phone every day, and we plan stuff all the time. So it's like I was saying, like he's the one that pushed me to take my music seriously. So like he's kind of like my manager right now, with like how I release my music and how I release my visual content and shit. Like it's nice to have somebody on my side that's helping me and like wanting me to stay organized and like keep my stuff going and stuff and stay consistent.
Yeah. And so for those of you who don't know, like Bedford has a YouTube channel as well, where he goes over like cinematography tips and stuff. I have to
crazy work.
Yeah, well, do you remember the name of his channel? Is it like Bedford something? It's like
it's just Bedford.
It's just Bedford, which is BEDFID, spelled that way, just the way it sounds, Bedford. And so it's a dope channel. Please subscribe to his channel too if you're into some filmmaking tips. But yeah, he's always been great with you referring like musical artists to me too as well. Like he's like, oh, when I was asking him, do you know anybody that might want to, do the podcast? He was like, oh, my boy Stevie. Yeah, he's like, it's perfect right now. He got this project coming out and everything. And I said, okay. So I always trust his musical taste for sure. He's usually on point with it.
Shout out
he
to my
hasn't failed me
dog,
yet.
man.
Yeah. So he hasn't failed me yet. So I mean, he was right. So and I always look for like strong visuals too, which a lot of times like he probably helped that artist, with that. But that you're like you said, like as an artist, like learning film first, you completely understand the power of that medium. And to take a song and because a song alone already is putting these images in your mind. When you accompany that with the actual visual, and then it becomes a complete story. Then it finally you're like, oh, okay, this is what this artist really meant. Or sometimes you see the visual and you're like, this ain't even have nothing to do with what I thought the song meant. But yeah.
But I feel like coming from the film background first gives me an advantage because like I was planning these shoots with other artists for years and stuff, and like artists don't have the money to follow through, or like they're just trying to fish and try to find a free video here and there and stuff like that. So it's like I'll sit down and I'll talk to these artists and I'll start planning these ideas and stuff, and I'm like, damn, like this is a pretty cool idea. And then it's like years go by and I don't use it, and then like I started making music myself. So some of these ideas are like ideas that I had back when I was going to shoot these videos for other artists and stuff. So it's kind of like kind of plan this shit out ahead of time without actually knowing it and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's important for music videos because like having a concept, because so many music videos are sometimes like, I mean, they end up okay at the end, but like there's like they don't have no real like structure to it. They just coming out and like they're gonna be out there for like 18 hours, 20 something hours, just nonstop, just shooting like a party. Basically, there's a party scene, and it starts to get like that another video like that. When you see strong visuals that are completely out of the box, then it actually makes you feel more connected to the artist. I feel like, so
exactly.
Yeah, because you start to understand what they're like. You're like, okay, so this is where you're at. This is what you were thinking when you wrote this, or this is how you were feeling emotionally. Because
it's about like giving them the full experience. It's it's kind of like for my project I have coming out. It's called Craxus, and it's based off like most of the songs are named after words out of the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. And like I played it for a couple of my friends, and like I explained to them like the meanings of all the words and everything, and like the process that I went through with like making the song, about like how I read this word in the book and I like the definition of the word. And so what I did was I made a song that kind of expressed that how I felt after I learned a new word. It's like I'm hoping that when you listen to the project, that's what people get. It's like kind of like the introduction to a new word, and then they have this song to go along with that word, and it kind of like gives them that feeling of the word where like you can hear it, you read it, and then some of the songs will have videos to them, so you can go and watch the video and kind of like really see how I felt when I learned about that new word and stuff like that.
Okay, that's dope. That's really so yeah. So it's a concept album basically, So it's not just a random bunch of tracks,
Yeah, they're all the songs. I mean, it's a lot of sad boy shit, but it's I mean, it's the kind of music that I really feel connected to. It's more who I am rather than what I want people to think I am.
Okay. So who are you listening to right now? Yourself?
I still listen to the same shit. I listen to Sade, The Weeknd, and then mainly like underground artists, like my collective of people, Free Energy.
Okay.
Which is Drax, Kidway, Samwar, Love Cajun, and then we have a producer in our group. Oh, I'm sorry, Kid Thrill as well. And then our producer Javita X, he's the one that produced most of the beats on my project. So that's
shout out to him.
That's all
it's fire beats.
I listen to the homies and the ones that inspired me when I was a kid. Like I don't do too much dabbling around in other music unless somebody hits me up asking me if I'm interested in shooting a video for them. Then I'll listen to new music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear you because it's I try sometimes, and like I most I'm talking about more about stuff that you hear like on like terrestrial radio, because I still listen to terrestrial radio, time to time, and but like listening to new music, like I said, listening to you discovering new artists like underground, I like that more. But yeah, Sade, classic. What do you mean? Like, Sade all day.
Yeah,
That's a real artist for you. So I'm glad that your inspirations are like these strong artists like Sade. The Weeknd does crazy visuals. He offers videos.
everything inspired, man. I remember when I was a kid in high school, as like the weekend, he just started dropping tapes, and I was introducing people to his music. The motherfuckers were calling me weird for listening to that kind of music, and now he's the biggest artist ever, and it's just like,
Yeah,
now he's your favorite artist. You called me weird, like it's funny as hell.
So do you perform live like around like Florida, or do you have plans
No,
to?
I have not performed yet.
Okay.
There were a couple of opportunities that came up, but the events fell through. And so now I'm in the process of trying to put my own event together. Cause like I was saying, like I do film work and stuff. So like I still want to keep doing that. Like I'm never going to stop doing that. Like if someday something happens and my music does blow up, like I'm still a director and a photographer first. Like that's always going to be my passion. And that's what I want to do in my life. Like I want to make movies and stuff more rather than the music. Like I feel like now I just have music that I can use for my projects instead of other people's music. But the goal right now is to put an event together for Free Energy and have us all perform somewhere locally where I'm at, and just give my first performance like something with my homies and shit. It's like everyone that's in that group is people that I went to the same high school with and stuff like that. And like we range from different levels. Like there's people that have worked with some of the biggest artists in the world, and then there's some of us like me who are like really just starting out, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, and and you need that. I feel like when people are at different levels, we never stop learning. So you can learn something from somebody that's still coming up, and you might be able to give them a little bit of wisdom, and vice versa. And just hearing like especially when like someone's new, like having that new style come in, that's why you see a lot of older artists. They try to like on different albums, they'll switch up and do different, like a different style, and I think they're getting that from somebody obviously they heard from before, or a style of music that they gravitate towards. I mean, Drake definitely does that. Drake has every album he's on something other tip. So it's like just being open to growing that way is definitely beneficial as an artist, or to have longevity in the game, because if you still rapping like it's the 90s, then you're gonna be left in the 90s type of thing,
Exactly.
which is kind of what happened to a lot of artists,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not willing to get with the times and just falling in love with that one era and wanting to stay there.
Yeah.
And it's like it's understandable, and you can find your niche like that, but like if you're really trying to expand and do something, you're gonna have to try to find something that fits the sound of the time that you're in.
Yeah. Like Kanye's been around for a long time. You know what I mean?
Kanye, he'll be around forever.
That's what I'm saying. There's certain artists that they're timeless no matter what. And so, that is and then in them, being timeless, you see a whole bunch of one-hit wonders and people just coming and going like a revolving door. So keep pushing that way and keep evolving and definitely try to be different like you've been, because that's definitely going. You say I want to make movies and stuff, and I'm sure you are gonna make movies, but your music, like you said, music pops off, and your music is strong as it is now. I think that you'll be doing both. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's cool too. Like you said, having music for your movies. Like having your own music. You can do your own soundtracks. That's all you then. And that's a good feeling to have a project where it's a concept from the actual story to the album that accompanies it. Yeah, it's dope. Well, so you said your project is coming out. When is it? When is it supposed to be released?
It'll be out this year.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I have a song that I still have an open on that I'm still trying to get filled, and then everything else is almost good to go. I just have 2 more songs that need to be mixed. And
Okay.
other than that, it's the concept and stuff. I have a video for one of the songs that me and Bedford are almost done putting together on paper, and we're just looking for models and stuff to be in it and stuff at this point right now. But I don't know. I'm hoping before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'll say that.
All right. We can't rush masterpiece, you know, if it is what it is. I would say too, like, definitely hit me up when you do it again, because I can have you on again for sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And how many tracks you thinking about having?
Right now it's 9.
9.
But I have 1 more that I might add to make it 10 because I'm weird and I like even numbers.
I don't blame you. 10's a full album for me, you know. I've had tracks, I mean, albums that were like, what, 13, 20 tracks deep. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, go for it. You know, I mean, go for as well, I just heard Kid Cudi was coming out with like 40 songs or something like that. And his next album, something crazy. So,
Man, I think I have made 40 songs
yeah.
total. Or maybe a little less than that.
Oh man, gotta be on your pop.
Yeah, he's definitely got me, man. Because 40 songs on one project is wild to me.
Yeah,
it's
especially
like
for one artist.
2 days worth of content.
Yeah. Oh man, you're right. You're right. And so like, with your album, is it mostly you, or you gonna, or you have you know, a lot of like collabs on it too?
I have 3 songs with features.
Okay.
But most of them are just mainly me. And then like I was saying, all of them are produced by Javita X, or he did some kind of work on them. And then there's one track produced by Kidway, and Kidway also features on the same track.
Dope. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing some more from you. Where can my viewers, my listeners, find you on social media?
I am on Instagram mainly. I'm trying to be more active on YouTube, and I'm on TikTok here and there, but I know the time that I'm in, I need to get more active on that too. So you guys can find me on those. Musically, you can find me on all platforms, and then most of my stuff is going to be on SoundCloud though.
Okay, so and your handle on all of them is just IFStevie?
Yes, sir. IFStevie everywhere.
Okay, so it's gonna be easy to find you. It's just IFStevie. That's it. Yep, it's not IFStevie, it's IFStevie.
Exactly.
So what's the IF stand for?
And it stands for ill favorite.
Ill favorite. Okay, that's a very important thing that you left out. Because I was like,
yeah,
okay.
everybody asked me, and my buddy told me, don't tell anyone. Just tell them and wait until they ask.
Okay,
because it's after my brand. I have a clothing brand as well.
Okay.
We're in a slow stage right now. I haven't put anything out in a while, but I've kind of, it was gonna be like a brand for everything that I did, but over the years I've kind of like trying to separate everything, because like it's easier, and I don't want everyone getting everything mixed up. So like my clothes are gonna be separate, and music separate, video projects separate, like everything's gonna be separate.
So you got a lot going on. You got a baby.
I got like 5 or 6 Instagram pages that I'm running right now. It's wild.
Wait, so how old is your son now? He's probably like what, 6, right? Or something like that.
No, he's 3.
3?
He'll be 4 in October.
I added too many numbers. I don't know why. I hit my vape too much.
Man, we went to Full Sail.
yeah.
We're not math experts.
You know why? I started thinking about when I graduated, which was like in 2018, but you said 2020, so I added way too many years. But yeah, so three. So you got all that going on. You got a 3-year-old in the house.
Yeah, man. He's 2 handfuls, I'll say that. But he is hilarious, and he loves to take pictures. It's funny. So teaching him how to use a camera and stuff is gonna be fun, because he already knows how to take my phone and take pictures. I got all kinds of pictures of me there. Funny pictures of me sleeping and stuff that he took. So I know that when his time comes, he'll be able to shine bright.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's good to hear. Well, I'm gonna think of anything else I want to ask you before I let you go. Oh, so what about like, do you get in like any like freestyling or anything like that, or do you like get in any of the battles? Do you like any of that stuff, or
Nah, I
you
don't do
just
any of that, man. I'm an R&B guy. I
Okay.
might like I do a little bit of rap here and there, but mainly I just try to stay in my own realm of music because it's I don't know. I don't want to push something that I'm not.
No, and I hear you. I hear you. I was just curious because um, it's just you don't have to necessarily do it yourself, but just being a fan of it. Like I've always been a fan of battle rap myself. And my brother's a battle rapper. So that helps. You know
Listen,
why I
hit Bedford back up after this.
hmm
He'll put you on, man. He got a group called Real Spill, man. They got a lot of artists in that group they'll
Yeah.
definitely spit some bars for you.
What's funny is I had Real Spill on my first season. All right. So I
Yeah, so
haven't I
you
need
know about them boys.
yeah, so I need to bring them back. I had them on the first season. I'm this is the third season now we're on. So yeah, so that I definitely need to revisit that group because they were fire. And that was the first
Yeah,
time I
man.
had
Shout
that
out to
many
them.
people on at the same time because it was like it was a lot. It was like Wu-Tang. It was all over the screen. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, man, they definitely the homies. Shout out to them too.
And that's the thing too. Like I find a lot of like artists that I interview are all over the country. So I tend to do them more virtually, versus actually here in LA, where I mean that they're not here. It's just a different, energy where, I do have like a live version of the show. So I'll do that with, I have a musical artist there. But most of the time, yeah, this is what I do is because there's more variety out, across the country. And now that we bridge the gap with releasing things, releasing our own things independently, whether it be music or movies, it's that wall's coming down. So you don't necessarily have to be, in Hollywood or LA. You can be anywhere. And if
Power
it
of the
hits, it
internet.
hits. Yeah, man. If it pops, it pops. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
you never know. You never know. So man, I'm good, man. I'm glad you took the time to do this interview, and hopefully you get
Appreciate you having me for real.
yes, yeah, and I'm hoping that you get some new fans from this and some new you're gonna have to start doing these live shows because they coming. But yeah, man, that's what's up, man. Yeah.
One more thing. Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a free giveaway for a prop from my short film that I just released called Get Your Own Shit. And it is a 1 second.
Okay. Get your own shit.
It is a briefcase that I made. So I'm going to be giving this away for free. And if you go to my Instagram, it's a pinned post and you can see how to enter the giveaway. It's nothing hard. You just subscribe to my YouTube and follow me in Bedford. Pretty much just comment and then you'll get a number and you'll be entered into the drawing for it.
That's what's up. See, listen to podcasts, watch the podcast. Now you might win a big briefcase that says not drugs. It's
yes,
fantastic.
sir. Yes, sir.
So I was gonna say about that too. Like, so you said so it's a giveaway from your video. So this is gonna be this Friday's the 6th. What's the date of the next Friday? That's the 15th, 4th. No, I'm going to it like the 13th.
13th, yeah.
Yeah, 13th. So yeah, so by the 13th, if you want to win that prop from his movie, get your own shit. Sign up, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for IFStevie. Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, man.